increasingly drawn to. During our courtship, I lost my grandpap, and I was glad to have Charlie help me through it. I was growing to rely on Charlie very much and love him. He was becoming my whole world. No one was surprised when we announced our plans to get married, and the date we chose was June 21st, 1976, the first day of summer. We got married at the Stringtown Baptist Church in Stringtown, Oklahoma on a Monday night. We had a tough time finding anyone to marry us since Charlie had been married before. It was a real short ceremony, and I didn't even have a gown. I just wore a green summer suit. All of my family attended, well, everyone but Paik. He didn't think I should be marrying a man with 2 kids, and time proved him right about that. I personally asked him to come, and he said no, and I said no more. I didn't beg, but I was terribly hurt. Looking back, I've decided there might have been more to it than Paik's disapproval of Charlie's having kids. Paik and I had been extremely close, traveling all over the country together, rodeoing and singing. At that time in my life, he was my best friend. Maybe he resented Charlie for coming between us, but Charlie did take priority. During the first week of our marriage, Charlie and I spent more time apart than together. After the ceremony, we drove to White House, Texas in separate vehicles. Charlie pulled the horse trailer and I drove another truck. I had a singing job and he had rodeos to go to that next weekend. We spent our wedding night in a Holiday Inn in Corsicana, Texas. It wasn't an especially romantic time as we'd gotten in late. No roses, no champagne. I had to be up early the next day to promote my first single, I Don't Want to Be a One-Night Stand, during an interview at a Houston radio station. That was my honeymoon. I would come to miss Charlie so bad when we were apart, I would cry for 2 days before he left for a rodeo. I was insecure and just plain immature when I got married. I was scared of the dark at 21 years old, too. I'd sleep with my sheet pulled tight to my chin and would never, ever, once I said my good nights, put my hand outside the sheet for nothing. So I'd ask Charlie not to go to sleep until I did, and he wouldn't. I'd lie next to his big, breathing body, secure and safe by his side. I had never felt so safe. The first home that Charlie and I shared was the Chalky Shack, a small house across the highway from Mom and Daddy's. The ceiling literally fell in twice during the 4 years that Charlie and I lived there. We didn't have running water. The rent was $10 a month. We had second-hand furniture and 2 hand-me-down televisions. One had a picture, the other had sound, and one sat on top of the other so we could see and hear. We thought we were pretty inventive on that one. In those days, we had nothing, but we wanted for little. For a long time, just having each other was enough. The year I was married, 1976, also brought me another great joy. My first professional recording session with Glenn Keener at Woodland Sound Studios in Nashville. Then it was back to Oklahoma. I didn't sit around on pins and needles waiting to become a star. I didn't even expect it. If it was going to happen, it was going to happen. I'll never forget one afternoon in June, the same month I got married, when Mama Susie and I were sitting on the floor in the hall at Mom and Daddy's house. We had the old static field AM radio tuned to KVOO. The disc jockey announced a new record by a new singer, and then I heard my song, I Don't Want to Be a One-Night Stand, on the radio. The 3 of us just sat there and cried. The song rose to number 88 on Billboard country charts and then dropped off after 5 weeks. Right after our first session, Glenn Keener fell victim to a personal cutback at Mercury. I never worked with him again. I was inherited by Jerry Kennedy, one of Nashville's top producers, who was a great teacher for such a green talent as myself, and also became a great friend. In August of 1977, the album Reba McEntire was released by Polygram Mercury. It produced not one significant hit. People have asked me why I think my career took off so slowly compared to today's singers. Nowadays, an artist will cut one record, have a hit, and will be working for $10,000 a night within a year. The answer is that the recording industry is totally different today. First of all, the coverage we get with videos is unbeatable. You have to perform in a lot of different cities in front of a lot of people to match the visibility you get from the life of one video. Secondly, TNN, the Nashville Television Network, didn't exist when I started back in 1976. It's another wonderful way to showcase new and established acts. Boy, I wish we'd have had it back then. Nowadays, country stations are often number one in their markets. That means that more people are listening to country music than ever before. It sure wasn't that way 18 years ago. When I started out, I had 2 strikes against me. One, because I was a female. With the exception of Loretta Lynn, Dolly Parton, Barbara Mandrell, and Tammy Wynette, there weren't many women who were headline acts in country music. Country concert promoters had to package several acts just to draw a crowd, and the package usually contained no more than 1 female act, if any. Secondly, I wasn't famous. Nashville didn't have the surplus of songwriters in the 70s that it has today, and the good ones wouldn't pitch their songs to an unknown. Why blow a possible hit on somebody not selling records when they could have a guaranteed money-making hit with a superstar? But Jerry did his best to find songs for me. Fact is, Jerry never gave up on me, and I never gave up on myself. And that's a piece of hard-won wisdom I'd pass on to anyone wanting to chase a dream. During the years after I cut my first record, I had to build an audience through tours my agents had arranged for me. Then Red Steagall got me a booking agent, his friend Ray Bingham. He put me in VFW halls, rodeos, honky-tonks, any place he could get. Our biggest money job was at a fair in Missouri for a show and dance. We'd do 3 sets of songs from 9 until 1 a.m. On the first set, the people would stand near the stage to listen. The rest of the sets, they'd dance. We got paid $1,500 for the night. Man, I was thrilled. That's because many of our dates, and we didn't have but 3 or 4 a month, were at places I can best describe as hole-in-the-walls. I can remember playing one club in the early 1980s where the cigarette smoke was so thick I couldn't even see the crowd. Bingham remembers that in one club where he put me, there were always 2 or 3 fights, always among women. Beat all I ever saw, he says. No matter how hard they fought, Reba just kept on singing right through it. That stemmed from my training with the Kiowa High School Cowboy Band. In 1978, I was doing a show in Fort Worth, Texas. I was the opening act. Ray Wally Hubbard's band was supposed to back me, but they didn't want to. They'd never heard of me before. Is there a band that can back me, I asked. Yes, I was told. There's a rock and roll band. I met with the players and told them the songs I did. The musicians were truly in agreement. None of them had ever heard any of my tunes. Okay, I said, do any of you know Proud Mary? Yep, someone said, we know that one. Do you know Jeremiah Was the Bullfrog, I asked, meaning Joy to the World. Three Dog Night, one of them said, we know that song. Great, I thought to myself, they know 2 songs. So to fill my time on stage, I told jokes. I had 3 single records out on a major record label, and the high point of my act was a joke about a duck. Get off the stage, someone hollered. Shut up, take a hike. They were all waiting to hear John Conley, who had his big hit, Rose-Colored Glasses. Well, after my show, I went backstage. I was crushed. Luckily, Mama was with me. She was furious at the crowd. A reporter happened to show up from the Fort Worth Telegram, one of the largest newspapers in Texas. The reporter had seen and heard the crowd's response to me. Well, are you going to quit the music business? He wanted to know. Quit? I fired back. Absolutely not. I'm going to get a band of my own and never have this problem again. And I did. The following weekend, I played in South Texas at a cattle sale, and they had a band called Southern Comfort backing me up. I really liked them a lot, and they were interested in becoming my band. The next weekend, we played in Ardmore, Oklahoma. A new drummer joined them. His name was Preacher Williams, who would become my road manager and mainstay for the next 7 or 8 years. During this time, I did manage to achieve one of my greatest dreams. I got my first chance to sing on the Grand Ole Opry. Mama, Daddy, and Alice drove all the way from Oklahoma to Nashville, a round trip of 1,400 miles. They drove it for a 3-minute song. Now imagine this. I had never had a real hit record. I was living in a broken-down shack of a house, and there I was with Minnie Pearl, Roy Acuff, Hank Snow, and other country music legends at the world-famous Grand Ole Opry. We were 4 proud to be their Okies. Then I heard about Dolly. Dolly Parton, one of the biggest stars in the entire entertainment industry, decided to make a surprise appearance at the Opry the night I made my premiere. Most every artist sang 2 songs on the show, but since Dolly was coming, I was cut back to 1.